Okay,
Hi, I'm Jade.
and I'm Rachel, and we have been asked to find an amazing person associated with MHU, and today we have Sydney. Okay, Sydney, so give us like a little bit of a background of like where you're from and just...
I'm Sydney. I'm from Yadkinville, North Carolina. I went to Forbush High School. I have 3 siblings. I have a 14-year-old brother, a 4-year-old brother, and a 2-year-old sister.
So what is your best like childhood memory that you can remember?
My best childhood memory was when my 14-year-old brother was being born, and he was born around 1:30 a.m., and they woke me up and they said, "Hey, your brother's here." And I said, "Take him back. I wanted a sister."
All right, so tell us a little bit about your high school experience.
In high school, I was mostly in band, choir, and theater arts. One of my favorite memories was my junior year being able to do Beauty and the Beast with my boyfriend. And I was the lady with a baby, and so I got to carry around a baby the whole time, but it was fake, and I accidentally dropped it a lot. But yeah.
So we know that the reason why we picked you is because me and Jade are both like involved with music here in Mars Hill, so we both knew you. That's why we both picked you. So like, tell us a little bit of background of what you do in high school with music and marching band.
Well, my music experience started when I was 4 and I started playing piano. And so when I got to middle school, I wanted to be a percussionist, and so I decided to do percussion. And my 8th grade year, I was able to be in the high school marching band, and I was in show choir for middle and high school, and plays all of my years.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. Like, so with your plays, have you ever had like a lead, or like were you tech, or like?
I teched a lot because I had a lot of other things going on with band and dance and academics.
Okay, so like when did you first get out there on the stage?
Oh, my junior year. Actually, I was in Wizard of Oz when I was in kindergarten, and Annie when I was in 2nd grade.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That is really cool. When did you start dance?
When I was 2 years old.
Wow. What was your most favorite dance movement you did?
I loved tap. I competed for about 4 years, and I took a tap dance to competition.
Okay, so like I mentioned before, me and Jade are music in Mars Hill, and so give us a little bit more depth of your background in music and percussion and marching band.
So, when I was younger, my grandma, who could not sing and could not dance, always wanted to sing and dance and play piano that was at her house. She tried her hardest, and so that really got me interested in music. And so when I was 2 years old, she put me in dance, and when I was 4, she put me in piano lessons, and she really just motivated me to become a better musician. And so when I was 6 years old, I was put into vocal lessons. And so she kind of set me up in the instrumental and vocal path. And then by the time I got to middle school, I decided I would do band and choir. And so I done that. And when I wanted to go to an early college, but when I was offered to go to marching band in the 8th grade, I knew that music was my path. And by the time it hit my junior year, I knew I wanted to do music for the rest of my life.
Oh, that sounds really cool. You discovered your passion at an early age.
Yeah, most people don't actually do that, because most people that I know where I'm from, they don't start music until their 6th grade year, and they don't really learn instruments until their 6th grade year either.
Yeah.
So
Some people are still trying to figure out what they want to do.
yeah, that's pretty cool that you did learn that you wanted to do music at a young age.
So back to when you said your grandmother wanted somebody to do music, even though she couldn't. How did you take to that at first when she said, hey, you're going to learn piano and you're going to learn how to sing and you're going to do this, you're going to do that?
I actually took it as an opportunity. I was never upset about getting into piano and dance because that's what I love to do, and she could see that. And so it wasn't her really forcing me, it was her living vicariously through something I love too. So shared interest, and she couldn't do anything, so I done it. She still comes to most of my concerts, and if she can't come, she watches it online.
Oh, that's so sweet.
We are back from our break, and we're going to go on to the next topic of why Sydney chose Mars Hill for her love of music. So, Sydney, tell us why you chose Mars Hill.
When I was 4, as our piano recital, we done The Wizard of Oz. I've always been in love with The Wizard of Oz and the musical Wicked, and so that was like the best thing ever. And since I was 4, I was a munchkin because I was tiny. And so I was in love with the actor Dorothy, not only on the musical or the play, but also like in the movie and everything. And I fell in love with the actor or the actress that was there, and just like would follow her around, and we just really hit it off. And it turns out when I got into high school, she was a first-year student. She was my choral director, and so I got to take chorus, and we really hit it off. And she told me that she went to Mars Hill, and that year I decided that that's where I was going to go, and I was going to go for music. And so then I set up my whole high school degree and everything as going into music, so I ended up taking almost, I think, like 5 credit hours a year towards music.
So what else caught your attention towards Mars Hill?
I loved Mars Hill because there was mountains, and I've always loved camping and biking and hiking and everything. Something else that I really enjoyed about the school was it's 3 hours away from my hometown, roughly. And so it's far enough away to be, like, independent and away from my parents. But if I need them, they can be here in not too long.
So, what are some of the experiences that you've had, like, with making new friends, or like was it hard for you to make new friends when you came here? Or
so as a music major, you have many visits before you come, just to meet everyone and to play, and for the professors to see if you're a good fit. And so I kind of got to meet a few people on my audition day, which was February 23rd. It was the day after my birthday. And I just made instant connections. And I remember meeting Kendall because she's very open and she will make friends with you. And I remember coming back for a pre-orientation and seeing her, and she was just like talking to me and hugging me, and I was like, well, this is really cool. Like, I made a friend, and I'm still in high school. I felt so good about myself. And then the first day was really nerve-wracking, but it helped because I had a friend from high school that was also a music major, and he's not here anymore. But, like, it was so much fun. He lives in Asheville, so he still shows up sometimes. But from that, I just started making friends with everyone, and I met my best friend, Danielle, and she's my roommate this year. And we ended up joining SAI, which is a music fraternity for women. And so I just have a lot of wonderful sisters and friends. And then I came back this semester really excited, but all mine and Dan's friends just didn't show back up. So we made a pact that we would make at least 5 friends, and I think we reached that goal with Rachel.
hey.
All right, so what's next for you after you graduate?
Like your future, like if you're still gonna stick with music or, you know.
So as of right now, I am a music education major with an elementary emphasis and a minor in religion and philosophy. So when I graduate, I decided that I want to go get my master's in divinity so I can teach elementary school during the day, and I could be a youth pastor on the weekends and like Wednesday nights. But also if there's like an issue with finding a teaching job somewhere that I'm at or something, that I would be able to just go to like being a youth pastor or teaching in a Christian-based school. So I decided that I want to go to Campbell to get that degree. And then I guess I'll just get married, and I don't really want kids, so I guess I'll just live my life out as a music teacher, I guess, teaching lessons and working in churches, because that's my two things I love, is music and Jesus.
Those are great loves.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand you have a boyfriend named Brandon, correct?
Yes.
All right, how did you meet him?
Well, we actually met in preschool because we went to the same person for our piano lessons. And then when we went to 7th grade, or when I was in 7th grade, he was in 8th grade, we met again in band. And then we started dating his senior year and my junior year. And we were a band couple.
Oh,
That's so cute. Okay, so as we're wrapping up for, we just want to thank you, Sydney, for letting us choose you for our amazing person at Mars Hill, for helping us out and letting us interview you and all that.
We'd like to thank Dan for attempting to be quiet, even though you kind of messed us up a couple of times, but it's all good.
It's all good.
Thank you. Because we got it done.
Yeah.
All right, and we'd also like to thank our lovely audience and our Professor Bell.
Woo! Shout out to my home girl.
All right, next time on our podcast, we're going to talk about the cafeteria food.
Is it real meat or is it not? Question mark. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Have a lovely day.
Yeah, and
What
also have a great Merry Christmas, because it's coming up and I'm so excited to go home.
Yeah, and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, woo. Bye.